Every parent's number one goal in life is to protect their children from dangers in the road. All we want as a parent is for our child or children to be safe and have a chance to grow up and be a successful person in this world, to make a difference, to make a change. Did you know that drowning is one of the top causes of death among infants and children? It's in the category with the number one causes being in the category of accidental deaths. Simply put, many children don't know how to save their own lives if it came down to it when in a pool or a bathtub. Most drownings happen in the comfort of your own home. Children even drown in a bathroom sink, in a tub. And we're not just talking about little bitty babies, 3-6 months old. No, we're talking about 4 or 5-year-olds who realistically can just stand up in a tub. But they don't, because they panic and they don't know how to save themselves, and they can drown. No child under any circumstances should be left alone around any type of water. But realistically, we know that these things do happen. And making sure that your child knows how to swim can be the difference between life and death. Now I know you're thinking, what does this have to do with our topic that we were given by our professor on doing a speech regarding making a change in the world? And I'll tell you, it's really, really simple. Who's going to feed the homeless? Who's going to adopt an animal from an animal shelter? Who's going to be the next Martin Luther King Jr.? Who's going to adopt these poor children who don't have parents? Who's going to be the person to make this change? If our future, which children are our future, are dying more and more every single day in their own bathtubs. Not just swimming pools or the beach, their own bathtubs. Believe it or not. If children can't grow up, there's nobody left to make a change. And that is why teaching your child to swim or putting them in swim lessons so that they can learn is making a big change. One of the biggest changes in the world. I know the idea is very scary of your little 6-month-old being in a body of water trying to learn to swim. But did you know that when babies are in the womb, they're encased in nothing but water? And that is why the term is "my water broke." They're swimming for 9 full entire months. All they know is water. And that is why it is best to teach a child young. This is why people teach children languages so early on, because things click quicker. Children are like sponges. They soak everything up. How can anyone make a change if children are not growing up to be the person to make that change? According to Healthline, when children learn how to swim, it improves their confidence. With skin-to-skin contact and music, water play, and fun, not to mention the constant praise and approval from your instructor, your parents, and your peers, it makes kids feel good. And you know what confidence leads to? Productivity. A productive child turns into a productive teen, turns into a productive adult, i.e., an adult making a change in the world. If we had more productive people, this world would be better, because productivity 9 times out of 10 means positivity. Less negativity means a better world. Also, swimming gives children confidence. Do you hear me? Confidence. Everybody knows that a person who does not feel good about themselves, they don't do much, because it's depressing. It's sad. It sucks when you don't feel good within yourself. Instilling that confidence in children early on could mean such a difference in their productivity in school, in their productivity in life in general. Now, I'm not saying that teaching your child to swim or putting them in a swim class means that they won't drown, because realistically, there's still that chance. And this is why children should never be left alone in a body of water, no matter what their swimming skills are. Here we have this. And this is just saying basically that the number one cause of death, drowning, is the leading cause of unintentional, which means that there was no harm inflicted purposely, okay, between children of the ages 1 and 4. And that's according to the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. On average, you're looking at about 356 annual averaged, which means could be more, average deaths and drownings in pools and spas from children from the ages of newborn to 14 years old. And that's in 2014 to 2012 to 2014. So not only does teaching your child early on to swim benefit them as a baby, it benefits them when they get older. Because between the ages of 13 to 16, the number of children drowning increases. Because you have teenagers doing things like pool parties, and let's just face it, teenagers are very, very reckless. And also, did you know that African American children are 5.5 times more likely to drown in a pool than white children around their same age? And that again is according to the CDC. If you look at this chart here, this is showing you the 10 leading causes of death among children and adolescents, which means preteens and teenagers, 13 to 16, in the United States. This chart is from 2014. And then you look right here, drowning is number 5. These are unintentional deaths. There are other ways, but unintentional is the number one cause. And on this list, drowning is number 5. It's in the top 5. Look at this chart. Average number of deaths per day in one town in the United States. I'm sorry, not in one town. I apologize for that. But in the United States from 1999 to 2010. And if you look at it, on the weekends, those numbers increase. Why on the weekends? Because that's when pool parties and all that other stuff. And when you look at it, this is the per day, and this is by the days. Look at this. 13, 14 children dying. How can we have a future if our children are dying from something like drowning? This is unintentional. It can be avoided, but unfortunately it happens. So I'm saying to you, teaching your child to swim does make the biggest difference in the world, because not only can your child drown and die, but even if they survive, you can risk permanent brain damage. How can your child develop properly to make a change in this world if they don't even have a shot? So please, teach your children to swim to save their lives, and potentially saving their lives could save other people's lives.